Alright guys, welcome to session 117. It's been a minute since I've been on. We took a break a little bit, but we are back for February here. So I'm going to go over some news, go over some technicals, go over public portfolio, what stocks are popping, what stocks are getting killed, and that sort of thing, guys. So here we are, Dow is rallying today, 500 points as traders shake off gold, silver, Bitcoin decline. So I'm going to read this to you guys, CNBC Live updates. And then we're going to, go back and forth with, technicals and such. So U.S. equities rose on Monday as Wall Street began a new month of trading with investors looking past the recent losses in silver and Bitcoin, guys. So, we haven't even, done a session since, metals and, really skyrocketed, based off, uncertainty, stuff like that, guys. They were just uncertain about the market, and we saw really people escape the dollar to metals, and the dollar really declining as Trump kind of wants. He wants the dollar to weaken, and so people could start going into assets. People fled to metals, and now he announced the new federal chair, his pick for the new federal chair, Kevin Warsh. And last Friday, we saw gold and silver take like one of the biggest hits I've seen in my lifetime. So we saw, I think it's a motorcycle. We saw one of the biggest hits I've seen in my lifetime. I've been, in the markets for, a decade, and I've never seen gold and silver react like this, guys. So that is, really people escaping metals now, probably locking in profits, going back to the dollar after, Kevin Warsh was announced. And they're saying that, Kevin Warsh can be, more independent, to keep the Fed independent from the White House. And then we saw Bitcoin. Bitcoin's really selling off, guys. Down to, I believe, I think around 70. Let's see what it is right now. Let me quickly check. But yeah, I think it crashed, guys, here. 78, guys. It is currently at. Ethereum is 2,300. Solana 104. XRP 161. And then Cardano is 30 cents. So those are the five we really look at. But yeah, guys, let's dive into this and give our thoughts, but we'll also check technicals as well. So U.S. equities rose on Monday as Wall Street began a new month of trading with investors looking past the recent losses in silver and Bitcoin. The Dow Jones Industrial Average advancing 526 points, or 1.1%. While the S&P 500 was up 0.6%, the NASDAQ Composite also gained 0.6%. So that is pretty much how the market is reacting today. Last night we saw a 24-hour market. Really, it was not looking good with futures and 24-hour market opening. But it's the investors are ignoring that, guys. So we have Bitcoin dropping below 80,000. There it is, for the first time since April, a sign investors were taking more risk off the table following Friday's sharp declines in gold and silver. Silver, which has more than doubled over the past 12 months, plunged around 30% on Friday, as we were seeing, guys. So in front of our eyes, just metals, boom, skyrocket, and then just freaking crash. Probably the most volatile I've ever seen the metals. That marked the metals' worst day performance since 1980, guys. I wasn't even born yet. I wasn't even a thought in 1980, guys. So gold also dropped 10%. So there it is. So moving on. The cryptocurrency as well as the two metals later came off their respective lows Mondays, which helped trim losses in equities and ease risk of sentiment. Bitcoin last traded above 78,000, while spot gold and spot silver were down 4 and 5% respectively. Bitcoin proxy strategy also saw losses falling 5%. So Michael Saylor is seeing, I think his Bitcoin, is below his average cost. We also see, Tom Lee and BMNR really taking a hit. I think he has a $6 billion unrealized loss on his investment with BMNR and Ethereum, guys. So Wall Street also turned its attention to Nvidia. I think I saw a video with Jensen, but questions over the artificial intelligence trade loomed. The Wall Street Journal reported, citing people, here it is, guys, with familiar matter, the Nvidia plans to pour $100 billion into OpenAI had stalled, with chip maker execs expressing doubt about the deal. Nvidia shares were down 2%. So, guys, we have this whole circular financing, with Nvidia, OpenAI, Oracle. I don't even know what else I'm forgetting, but them just constantly, financing each other. And Nvidia, I think, is realizing, I believe that, OpenAI is not going to be the LLM of the future. So, there's rumors that, Google and Gemini is going to be the main one. Even Grok is really, I use Grok personally. It's the LLM I like. I am biased. I like Tesla. I'm a Tesla investor privately and publicly in the Mogul Fellows public portfolio on Discord. I am all things Elon Musk. He's a genius in my eyes, so I go Grok all day. But Gemini, I use Gemini too. It's just easy. Go to Google AI, boom. I do not use ChatGPT. I am personally not a Sam Altman fan myself. I think it was very shady of him to, ditch Elon and do his own thing for profit. I am very biased when it comes to that, and I hope Jensen is realizing that. So here's a quote. It seems to us that the bigger trends, which are mostly positive, are still in place, said Tom Holland, Chief Investment Officer at Orion. What matters right now is still earnings, the fiscal policy backdrop, which is still constructive even with the temporary shutdown and seasonality. So we got earnings, guys. We just had the market close just right now. We're filming this after 1 o'clock California time. We have Palantir announcing, guys, and I'm sure we're going to see that maybe down here. We'll see. So big earnings, guys, this week. More than 100 S&P 500 companies are due to report this week. So it's a big week, guys. That includes Amazon and Alphabet. Shares of both names were higher today. The overall reporting season has been strong thus far, but there have been some high-profile post-earnings sell-offs, including Microsoft last week. We had Microsoft last week, we had Meta last week, and we had Tesla last week, and Apple. So we had, Microsoft really plunged, we had Meta pump, we had Apple kind of pump, and what else am I forgetting? I think I'm forgetting one more, guys. But yeah, guys, it's crazy. We had Disney kicked off this week with reporting earnings that beat analyst expectations. However, the stock fell 7% after the company warned the headwinds from international travelers attending domestic parks. We also had, nonetheless, Dutch, I don't know how to pronounce that. Bank strategists noted that this weekend that earnings growth is on track to be the strongest in 4 years. So far, about 1/3 of the S&P 500 companies have reported. Ooh, here we go, guys. We actually, this is breaking news right now as we're filming this. So let's ditch this, guys. I could just say it real quick. So far, about 1/3 of S&P 500 companies have reported, and roughly 78% of them have beaten expectations. So let's go over to Palantir, guys. I kind of planned this to hopefully happen. All right, guys, so let's dive into this. Palantir beats fourth quarter estimates on the strength of AI and defense demand. There's Alex Karp right there. Here we go, guys. So Palantir topped Wall Street's fourth quarter estimates as more businesses and U.S. government race to buy its artificial intelligence tools. Here's how the company did. So we had earnings, EPS, we had 25, another motorcycle, guys. So we had 25 cents adjusted versus 25 cents expected revenue, guys. We have 141 billion versus 1.33 billion expected. Revenue grew 70% from 827.5 million in the year ago period for the fiscal year. Sales and the Denver-based firm totaled 4.48 billion. Let's switch this song. I'm not feeling it. Not feeling that either. All right. U.S. revenue for the government and commercial sectors rose to 570 million and 507 million respectively. Those results steadily beat estimates from analysts polled by FactSet. CEO Alex Karp called the earnings indisputably the best results that I'm aware of in tech in the last decade. That is a strong statement. During an interview with CNBC's Morgan Brennan, if you're not spending it on this, you're not spending on something that is part of keeping up with momentum. Looking forward, the AI-powered software provider said it expects 1.532 billion to 1.537 billion in revenue for the first quarter, well above the 1.32 billion projected by FactSet for fiscal 2026. The company guided to a range of 7.182 billion to 7.198 billion in revenue, beating the FactSet expectation of 6.22 billion. Palantir, which creates software and data tools sold to businesses and the government agencies, military, Department of Defense and Internal Revenue Services, and the Department of Homeland Security, has set a boost from skyrocketing demand for AI systems and broad retail investor enthusiasm. Karp noted the ongoing adoption of its tools by the U.S. government, a segment that saw a 66% growth. Here's a quote: America has become more lethal, more confident, more divergent from our adversaries, and quite frankly, from our allies, Karp said. He also said demand is so strong for its products and Palantir has become so engaged in the U.S. that it has held off on selling new products to allies. So there it is, guys, and they're going to have an earnings call 2 p.m. Our time, and we're going to be diving. They do their earnings call on video, so we're hoping to see that as well. So let's now dive in. So that's pretty much the overall of what's going on today. We went over what's going on today, and then also the Palantir. Let's dive into technicals now, guys. Whoa, this is a crazy candle. Am I seeing this correctly? That is wild. Let's see what's going on with that. Let's go to a 1 day. 1 day, 1 minute here. That is crazy, guys. So I hope I'm not reading that wrong, but that's kind of crazy. So let's just go back to, let's go back actually to the 1 year day chart here for S&P. I have no idea what that candle is. I have never seen this candle in my life. That went all the way down to 82. If I'm saying that correctly, that's kind of crazy. But it's a green candle now. Hopefully that's nothing to stress about. But we have SPY, at 695 there. We see, consistent uptrend here. And then we also have, if we go to SPX, let's see if that candle shows up on SPX. So it doesn't show up on SPX. There must be some kind of weird thing that happened. But we have a high there at 7,002, which I think was last week, but we have it currently trading at 69.76. We are still hopeful of a year to end at 7,700 to 8,000, guys. We're hoping it's in between that range by year end. So that's SPX here. That's how it is reacting. Let's go over now Palantir. All right, guys. So we see Palantir trading currently at 147 still. They're coming down below its 200-day moving average. Hopefully, this earnings call can really make this bounce back up above the 200 moving average. But that is what's going on with Palantir right now, guys. Let's go see what's going on with gold and silver. GLD is the index we follow. We see it really making that high at 509, now trading at 427 there, 47 RSI level there. SLV, the index we follow for silver, we see at making a high 109.83, now trading at $72 with a 43 RSI. BTC, Bitcoin, you can see Bitcoin really trading at the 28 RSI level. We see it coming down below the 80,000 level, 78 there, and a couple months ago we had that, or in October I believe, we had that high at 126, guys. So that is the day chart, guys, of the metals and Bitcoin, and then we went over Palantir. But we see now Palantir. Okay, let's go back over to Palantir after hours. I think we had it at 147. It is now, looks like, trading at 160, guys. We see it up. Amazon up, or sorry, AMD up, trading at the 248 there. Walmart we have up here, trading at 123, and Apple we have trading at the 269 there, and then Visa is also up as well, trading at 333, guys. So that is top five. Really, Robinhood getting smoked today. We see it at a $90 there. Down below its 200-day moving average, 22, RSI level. BMNR getting smoked. We saw Tom Lee, his unrealized gain or loss is $6 billion. I have no idea where this is going. Same with strategy, but I'd rather just buy the coins itself, guys. But we do have a little position in BMNR just in case. Oklo, we have down at the 37 RSI level at 73, guys. And then Disney, we saw Disney down 34 RSI level at 104 mark. And then Rocket Lab, we have down today at the 43 RSI level, trading at 74, guys. So those are the top five and bottom five currently, guys. Now let's go over the public portfolio, this last weekly recap, guys, and then we'll wrap up this session. So I'll read to you the weekly recap. If you want access to this, guys, go over to mogulfellows.com. Check out how to get into the Discord. So I posted last night, starting off February, we have the total value of the Mogul Fellows value at 65.85K. We made a total cash flow this past week at $100.66. Right now we are underwater on our Robinhood options position, our average price being 117. Unfortunately, we need to we need Robinhood to really pop to make premiums worth it again for us to do cover calls. Let's see, what else do we want to say here? So let's see. It is speculation that the market will not do well tomorrow. That was last night. It ended up doing really good today, ignoring the metals and Bitcoin declines. We had 24-hour market, really turning red. This will be opportunity to snag deals, which we did today. There was some stocks that were really getting smoked, as we saw. Robinhood. Excuse me, guys. Then we also had, the President Trump announcing his pick for Federal Reserve Chair Kevin Warsh. With this pick, they saw that the Federal Reserve will remain independent, as Warsh won't always listen to Trump. As we mentioned today, he is believed to be in favor of a few cuts this year, as Trump wants, and is said to be pro-crypto. So, saying that Kevin Warsh will be pro-crypto, guys. We also have tensions rising with Iran today. That is another thing. We won't go into it, as I don't think the YouTube algorithm likes it too much. Government shutdown. We are currently in a government shutdown right now, I believe. It shouldn't last long. And more earnings this week, as we mentioned, guys. So it will be another crazy week. Buckle up. So that is part of the weekly recap. We have, portfolio at 60K. We have the past week we made $102.66 in the portfolio. So if you guys want access to the public portfolio, we do have a Discord. Go over to mogulfellows.com if you want to check out that and get into the Discord. So that is pretty much, that wraps up 117, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Until next time, hit the outro.